Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have yet again something from Adidas. Let's open up the box and see what we got, because they're pretty awesome. Hiking trail running shoes called Agravic Flow, and yes, this is from Adidas Terrex. Love the Adidas Terrex stuff, and I gotta say, these are no exception. Very comfortable, lightweight. The outsole, as you can see, from Continental tires. Yes, the same brand that makes the tires. Overall, really good. Currently $89.99 on Amazon. The link is in the description below. So that's kind of a brief overview for you guys if you don't want to watch the whole review. But if you are serious about this, buying the shoe, make sure to stick around for the whole review, because this is not any regular shoe review. No, this review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival shoe section. Yes, basically if something bad happened and you were wearing these shoes and you had to, run to get to the safety, walk for extended periods of time, on the way you had to climb, fight, think about your survival situations, doing whatever it is necessary to survive. Would these shoes be good for your survival, or would they get you killed? Well, how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin with the criteria number 1, of course, the comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the shoes and boots that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run through different terrains, and then a 5-mile walk through different terrains, and then I continue wearing the shoes for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is 8 hours through different terrains. Yes. And like I said in the beginning, very comfortable shoe. There are a few factors that contribute to that comfort level. Let's start with the first one, the weight. And I have my little scale over here, and this is size 10. And I'm estimating this to be about 14 ounce. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see. Wow, way overestimated. 12.2. I have to say, this is very impressive. Now, usually my recommendation to kind of give you reference numbers so that you can, have a better judgment of the weight. If you are buying something in this category, right? Hiking shoes, trail running shoes with very good quality, you got to keep in mind that the better quality, the denser the rubber is of the outsole, right? You have a better protection, you have better traction, but at the same time it adds the weight, all right? So you are looking something in this kind of category under 15 ounce if you want to stick to the lightweight, all right? Over 15 ounce, a little bit over, 16, 17, it's not necessarily heavyweight, it's still pretty lightweight. But then you are getting, for shoes, you're getting into that little bit of kind of a heavier, weight, where you are, over certain periods of time, you're starting to feel the fatigue from the weight on your feet. 12.2, 12 ounce is, I gotta say, it's really good. But there are a few other things that contribute to the comfort level. One of them is the flexibility of the outsole. And here, as you can see, it's not flimsy, so it's not bad at all. It's actually very good balance, I have to say. This is a really nice balance of the flexibility and at the same time stiffness. So that, if it's too stiff, then it kind of becomes hard, uncomfortable, especially running. It's really hard to run properly. If it's too flimsy, now you're compromising on the protection, you're compromising on the traction. Here, I have to say, it's a pretty good balance. And also, I wanted to point out the creasing, where the creasing spots are. It does not create any pressure points at all, because the fabric here is super soft. But let's go into the inner sole. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna show it to you. It's in a way, I would kind of expect a little bit of a better inner sole, I have to say, from, Adidas Terrex. It's not bad, but here's the thing, right? You have the heel pad, it's just super flimsy, so it's almost pointless. You have the arch support, but again, it's practically almost useless. And the whole inner sole, you don't really have much of the cushioning at all. It's super thin. Really thin. Now keep in mind, this was designed to kind of save weight, so that's why it's thin. Obviously, the thinner it is, the less weight is going to be. But if you want something that is cushiony, this might not be for your preference. All right, once you remove the inner sole, it goes straight into the midsole where it gets a little bit harder. Still, you have some impact protection obviously from the midsole as well, but just something for you to keep in mind. All right, might consider replacing it if you like the shoe but you don't like the inner sole. Now moving further, we got pretty much no padding in the shaft, which is not a big deal. I mean, not the shaft but the whole part of the shoe, but you do have some padding here in the heel, which definitely does add to the comfort, and you do have some padding in the tongue going throughout the whole shoe. You don't really need much padding at all because this fabric is super soft and feels very, very good. Overall, I have to say, on the comfort level, with all the all the lightness in mind, the only thing that you might not like very much is the inner sole, but again, it's not bad, just something for you to keep in mind. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 2 now. Proofing and protection. Now, proofing wise, these are not waterproof, which is not a big deal at all. I'm not really that much into the waterproof shoes. Waterproof boots, yes, where you have a little bit of the clearance, where you have a shaft, but when it comes to shoes, I'd rather have something that is super vented, that will dry up faster. All right, and this is really the case here. If you get the water inside, there's not much of the inner sole to get wet. It'll dry up quickly. The whole, I mean, everything is super vented, super breathable, so you will dry up pretty quickly. So this is not bad at all. But for the protection, you do have some reinforcement here at the very front. As you can see, you can actually see this, the way, the construction of this reinforcement. Really, really good, I have to say, especially for a trail running shoe. If you're running through a rocky road, it's definitely helpful. Now, the toe box itself is very soft, so don't drop anything heavy. Obviously, no protection. There's none. Your ankles are wide open. There's some reinforcement in the heel, and obviously, you have a high quality rubber on the outsole for the protection, but we'll talk about the outsole later. Let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, quality-wise, Adidas. Who doesn't know Adidas? Adidas Terrex, on the other hand, not a lot of people are, aware that Adidas has their own, like a sub-brand, Adidas Terrex, that specializes in all the outdoor stuff, and it's actually really, really good whenever it comes to outdoors. I mean, people who design, stuff in Adidas Terrex, their hiking boots, the trail running shoes, they know what they're doing, all right? Because so far, pretty much, I think everything I reviewed from Adidas Terrex has been really, really impressive, and you can judge by reviews. There's not a lot of Amazon reviews on this one. I'm not sure if it's the newer model or if it's just not as popular, but Adidas Terrex, they have plenty of different shoes and boots. Check out the reviews on those, and you will see that people absolutely love them. Again, the Amazon link is in the description below. Now, whenever it comes to the design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system. Here, lacing system is very straightforward. It's this thin, flat, barely there type of strings. Honestly, I'm not a fan of these at all. Don't get me wrong, they do the job. You don't have any problems tightening them and operating them. No problems at all, but I prefer the round, thicker strings. Again, here, the purpose of these is to save weight, and you can see by the strings, you can see by the loops. These are just basic fabric loops. I mean, all is designed to save weight, which is good, and they really did. 12 ounce is very, very impressive. But let's move on to the criteria number 4, outsole. Traction and stability. So like I said in the beginning, whenever I do my run, my walk, I do it on just a whole bunch of different surfaces, just everything I can find. Wet grass, dry grass, wet sand, dry sand, tarmac, concrete, rubber, marble, tile, just a whole bunch of different things, trail surface. And I have to say, this outsole is good. It's really, really good. The only downside is because this is ultimate survival shoe review, in the survival situations, obviously one of the things that you want to keep in mind is stealth. This is not stealthy at all on flat, shiny surfaces. So on marble and tile, this squeaks pretty loud. So keep that in mind. But as far as the traction goes, this is really good. As you can see, very good balance between flatness and aggression. So you are nice and good on pretty much anything. I would say might experience a little bit of slipperiness on surfaces like wet grass, just because these grooves are, as I don't know if you can tell, from the camera, but they are kind of rounded, and that's one of my things that I had with this type of outsole that Adidas Terrex implements. And hopefully if they're watching my videos, my recommendation is just on some of these grooves, at least maybe front portion here and back portion here, to get rid of that roundness and keep them sharp, just to give that bite, that aggression that is necessary for stuff like wet grass, where you have to kind of bite into the ground. Especially important for the trail running shoes, because you kind of need, now you add speed, right, to the terrain that you're walking through. But other than that, outsole is very, very good. The quality of rubber is really, really nice. I mean, Continental, they make tires for cars, so for shoes they're probably like easy stuff. But let's move on to the criteria number 5, temperature. Obviously no point to talk about anything cold, completely pointless, I'm not even gonna start. But for hot temperatures, super nice, super breathable, no problems at all. Very, very good whenever it comes to the breathability. I mean, this feels so light, it's really nice. Let's move on to the criteria number 6 really quickly, the sizing. True to the size, no problems with the size at all. Again, really quickly, let's move on to the criteria number 7, balance for application. So if this really was your ultimate survival shoe, would this be good for your survival? I have to say, there's definitely a huge plus to having something like this as your survival shoe. Yes, it does not have a whole bunch of fancy protection, fancy waterproofing, all that cool stuff, right? Crazy outsole that is like go through all of the different terrains. But here's the thing, the outsole, it's inconspicuous, but it still can go through a whole bunch of different terrains, really, without, any problems for the most part. Yes, you don't have waterproofing, yes, you don't have all of that fancy stuff, but here's what you do have. You have something that looks like a really straightforward, everyday Adidas sneaker. You can wear it to school, you can wear it to work, you can wear it, really to the gym, whatever you want. And here's the biggest plus of having something like this for your ultimate survival shoe wear, is that something like this you will be wearing on a daily basis, right? It's not the pair of post-apocalyptic looking boots that you have sitting in your closet that because we don't know the survival situation, more often than not it happens unexpectedly, right? You don't get to, okay, today there's going to be a survival situation, so I'm going to put my boots on. Or maybe you're at work and, okay, now I have to run back to my house to put the boots on and go and survive. No, you already are wearing them. And that's, I think, the biggest plus of having something like this for your survival situation, because it's always on you. So if you're looking for lightweight, if you're looking for a very nice, very balanced outsole and something that you can wear on a daily basis, something like this is probably as good as you can get. And the very last criterion here is criteria number 8, the price. $89.99, so $90. I have to say this is a little bit on the pricier side. Yes, I mean Adidas, this is a brand, the brand name obviously, so it kind of makes sense. You do have some good features, obviously lightweight, very nice. Outsole is really, really good. You don't really have any waterproofing, you don't really have much, so the inner sole is a little bit on the finicky side. So $90, it might be a little bit of a steep of the price tag. There are some good competition in that price range from brands like Salomon, La Sportiva, if we're talking something serious. If we're talking a little bit less, then there is Columbia, there is Saucony. So there's a lot of stuff, and I reviewed a lot of stuff on this channel. So if this is if this option sounds good for you, you might want to check out a few other reviews that I've done on this channel. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this review? What do you think about this shoe? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below and I'll be happy to address them. As always, thank you for watching. Always appreciate your time. This is Ultimate Survival Gear. God bless you all. See you guys in the next video.